Here's a look at the Premier League title odds, and despite the issues Arsenal have been having recently, they are still favourites, but Manchester City are indeed closing the gap. So let's hear from Pep Guardiola ahead of City's game against Newcastle.
In a title race, how important is experience? Because you've done it many times before.
70% of the players are new, so they don't have experience to live these kind of situations.
Do you now feel you have a better chance of winning the title than you did, say, at Christmas?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen these next 12 games, so I don't know.
Do you and the players, though, have that confidence that it is now possible? Whereas
I didn't speak 1 second about that with my players. Yesterday, day before, it's just Newcastle. I didn't talk about the table. I didn't talk about the position or something like that.
No title talk at all?
I could not care less. It's 12 games. If you tell me this question, 2 games left, 3 games left, I will have your answer. It's the 4th time you ask me the same question, I will answer you. You should know me. So it's 12 games left. It's an eternity.
An eternity. Probably doesn't feel like that. Also, Pep Guardiola and our Stewart Robson in a battle on who wears the best roll neck, right? I'm going to go with
Robbo, easy.
Robbo, easily. Come on, I told you he's bringing Sean Connery, James Bond vibes. All right, Stevie, Pep Guardiola, always entertaining in his press conferences there. Although we know that he's probably getting the maths a little wrong there. He does have a bit more players in his arsenal than he's suggesting with title-winning experience. But as a manager and as a team, when you're in that locker room and you are involved in yet another title race, and even though he's saying it still feels like an eternity with 12 games to go and whatnot, how much are you leaning on experience to see you through when you're involved in a title race?
Well, you're not consciously leaning on it. You just subconsciously use it. You know.
How much do you talk about it? Because he's obviously saying they don't.
Well, all he's going to try and do between now and the end of the season, and while there's a title race, is take the pressure off his players. But actually, most of what he said is 100% true. It doesn't matter right now. You know, with 3 games to go, guys who've been through it, seen it, got a T-shirt, the lot, with 3 games to go, they might look at the league and say, right, we need to do this in this last 3 games. But right now, his team and his experienced players are just playing. They're preparing for the next game. And as a coach, the next game has to be exactly the same as the last one, and the one before that, and the one before that. And you make it an ordinary day, an ordinary game. It's about what we do well. It's about how we pass the ball. It's about how we defend behind. It's all about all of those basic things that you try and sort out in pre-season, and then you go through the season, and it gets you to the end of the year. That's when you maybe start looking at the table. And you start thinking about the title. Now, that's if you've already won it. And that's exactly what the Man City players are doing. And when I say, you know, the experience is not just about during the game. The experience is about the whole week leading up to the next game, where everything's normal, everything's treated the same. It's not a title race. We're not trying to do anything. We're not trying to win 6 and 8 or whatever. It's another game we have to win. And as we spoke about earlier, unfortunately for Arsenal, it's the opposite. Because they don't have the experience, they don't have the amount of winners. Certainly Premier League winners in their squad, they're not quite sure. Should we be doing something different? Should we change something? Should we have Wednesday off instead of Tuesday off? That's what's going on at Arsenal. At Manchester City, we're just trucking on, playing the next game and doing what we need to do.
Robbo, what do you think?
Absolutely. All you can do as the manager, and Pep Guardiola, I know he's a bit feisty in the press conferences, but he's saying the right things. All we can do is focus on the next game. You know, we'll win the next game. I'm looking at Newcastle. We've got to play well in that. I'll pick the right team for that, and then we'll worry about the next game after that. If you're challenging for lots of titles and lots of competitions in one season, it's exactly the same as if you're doing just the Premier League. They've got the Carabao Cup coming up, and he'll just say, right, we won't worry about that until that's the next game. So he's absolutely right, and Stevie's absolutely right. Arteta is doing exactly the opposite. You know, when you look at the 2 press conferences, Arteta is talking a whole load of rubbish and trying to be clever with what he's saying, and he's actually putting more pressure on the players and making himself look a little bit silly. Pep Guardiola's going, no, we'll just worry about the next game. You know, I've done it all before. We've done it all before. Some of the players, not all the players have done it before, but we know what we're doing. We'll get on with it.
All right, a tale of 2 managers. Either way, both of them will be not exactly in action, but their teams will be in action in what is going to be an exciting Premier League weekend. And just to remind you that our show, ESPN FC, is on 7 days a week. Join us all through this weekend as we look back on all that enticing Premier League action.